The Miami sun blazed down on Starlight Shores, its rays glinting off the luxury cars lining the pristine streets. Alex Carter, 32, wiped sweat from his brow as he tightened the last bolt on his neighbor's broken sprinkler system. The grateful neighbor, an elderly man named Carlos, clapped him on the shoulder. "You're a lifesaver, Alex. First day in the neighborhood, and you're already making friends." Alex grinned, brushing dirt off his hands. "Just happy to help." He and his wife, Sophia, 30, had just moved into their dream home after years of grinding, Alex crunching numbers as a financial analyst, Sophia freelancing as a graphic designer while working late-night shifts at a local cafe. Starlight Shores wasn't just any neighborhood. It was Miami's elite enclave, where wealth whispered in every perfectly manicured lawn. Their modest two-story home was a triumph, the result of 5 years of skipped vacations and relentless saving. As Alex hauled the last moving box inside, Sophia emerged from the kitchen, her ponytail swinging as she carried 2 glasses of iced tea. "We did it," she said, her voice bright with disbelief. "Our own place in Starlight Shores. Can you believe it?" Alex took a glass, his fingers brushing hers. "All those late nights, your cafe shifts, my budget spreadsheets, it was worth it." Sophia's eyes sparkled, her mind already racing with plans for a small design studio in the spare bedroom. The doorbell chimed, sharp and insistent. Alex opened it to find Victor Langston, their neighbor from the sprawling mansion next door. The 50-year-old real estate tycoon stood tall, his presence commanding, holding a gourmet gift basket in one hand and a bottle of champagne worth more than Alex's monthly salary in the other. "Welcome to Starlight Shores," Victor said, his voice smooth, like he was pitching a deal. "I'm Victor Langston, developer of this fine community. Thought I'd drop by to say hello." His gaze slid past Alex to Sophia, lingering a beat too long. Alex felt a prickle of unease, stepping slightly to block Victor's view. "I'm Alex, this is Sophia," he said, keeping his tone polite but firm. "Thanks for the welcome." Sophia offered a tight smile, accepting the basket. "That's kind of you, Mr. Langston." "Victor, please," he replied, stepping inside uninvited. "You two must be thrilled to join our little paradise. What do you do, Alex?" "Financial analyst, downtown," Alex said, noticing Victor's eyes still on Sophia. "And Sophia's a graphic designer, looking to start her own business." Victor's smile widened, but it didn't reach his eyes. "A designer? We could use talent like that at Langston Properties. I'm always scouting for fresh perspectives." His tone was casual, but something in it felt like a hook baited with more than just interest in her work. "We're good for now," Sophia said, her voice steady. "Just settling in." "Of course," Victor said, backing toward the door. "But you must come to my party this Friday. Whole neighborhood's invited." "Smart casual, though I'm sure you'll steal the show, Sophia." He flashed a grin and was gone before they could respond. Alex shut the door, the unease in his gut growing. "That guy's intense," he muttered. Sophia set the basket down, her brow furrowed. "He's used to getting what he wants. Did you see how he looked at me? Like I was a new acquisition." "Let's just keep our distance," Alex said, pulling her close. But the seed of doubt had been planted, and Starlight Shores suddenly felt less like a dream and more like a stage for something darker. Friday night arrived, and despite their reservations, Alex and Sophia decided to attend Victor's party. They parked their beat-up SUV between a Porsche and a Tesla, the contrast making Alex wince. Victor's mansion loomed at the end of the street, its glass walls glowing under the Miami moonlight. The door swung open before they could knock, revealing Victor in a crisp shirt and slacks, his charm dialed to 11. "The Carters!" he boomed, as if they were old friends. "Come in, come in!" He guided them inside, his hand brushing Sophia's back for a moment too long. Alex's jaw tightened, but he followed, scanning the crowd of polished guests sipping cocktails. Victor whisked Sophia toward a group of executives, introducing her with a flourish. "This is Sophia, our newest Starlight gem. She's got an eye for design. Wait till you see what she could do for us." Alex trailed behind, feeling like an afterthought. A man his age approached, holding 2 whiskeys. "First time at one of Victor's parties?" he asked, offering a glass. "I'm Javier, from 3 houses down." Alex nodded, grateful for the drink. Yeah, just moved in. I'm Alex. Javier glanced at Victor, now laughing with Sophia across the room. Word of advice? Watch your wife around Langston. He's got a reputation. Alex's grip tightened on the glass. What kind of reputation? Javier lowered his voice. He offers jobs to new neighbors' wives. Big salaries, vague roles. My partner, Elena, got one last year, $150,000 to consult on marketing. She turned it down, and suddenly our fence was out of code, and our pool permit got denied. Alex's stomach churned. He's that blatant? He's careful, Javier said. Everything's implied, never explicit. But cross him, and Starlight Shores becomes a nightmare. Before Alex could respond, Victor reappeared with Sophia, his hand still on her elbow. Alex, I was just telling Sophia about an opening at my company. Head of design, $200,000 to start, plus bonuses. She'd be perfect. Sophia's smile was polite but strained. That's generous, Victor, but I'm focused on launching my own studio. Of course, Victor said, his tone smooth as glass. But think it over. Opportunities like this don't come often. He turned to Alex. And you, numbers guy, I'd love your take on some investments. Lunch next week? My treat. Sure, Alex said, unable to dodge the invitation. Victor clapped him on the shoulder, then excused himself to greet another guest. In the car later, Sophia exhaled sharply. He's not just pushy, he's predatory. Did you hear how he pitched that job? Like he was buying me. Alex gripped the steering wheel. Javier said he does this to every new couple. Offers jobs, then punishes anyone who says no. Sophia's eyes narrowed. So he thinks he can control us with money and threats? We didn't claw our way here to be his pawns. Alex nodded, his mind racing. We need to be smart about this. He's not just a rich jerk, he's dangerous. The next morning, Alex woke to an email from the Starlight Shores HOA. Their request for a small patio addition had been denied for aesthetic noncompliance. The timing was no coincidence. Victor was already tightening the screws, and the Carter's dream home was starting to feel like a trap. The Miami heat pressed down on Starlight Shores, but the real pressure was coming from Victor Langston. Alex Carter sat at his desk, his laptop open to a string of HOA emails citing minor violations, shrubs too tall, mailbox slightly off-angle. Each one felt like a jab from Victor, a reminder of his reach. It had been a week since the party, and the Carter's dream home was starting to feel like a gilded cage. Sophia paced the living room, her phone in hand. Another citation, she said, voice tight. This time it's our trash cans, apparently they're visible from the street. We followed every rule, Alex. He closed his laptop, frustration simmering. It's Victor. Javier warned us. He plays dirty when he doesn't get his way. Sophia stopped, her eyes narrowing. He's trying to bully us into submission. That job offer wasn't about my design skills, it's about control. Alex nodded, recalling Victor's lunch invitation. He wants to meet me tomorrow. Probably to push that job on you again. I'm betting he'll dangle something else to sweeten the deal. Then let's turn the tables, Sophia said, her tone resolute. If he's this desperate to pull me into his company, there's something he's hiding. I could take the job, get inside, see what's really going on. Alex's stomach twisted. Soph, that's risky. You heard Javier. Victor's not just a creep, he's connected. If he suspects you're digging. I know, she said, sitting beside him. But we can't just wait for him to escalate. We need leverage, something to make him back off. Alex hesitated, then nodded. Okay, but we're smart about it. We set rules, code words, check-ins, no going anywhere alone with him. And I'm looking into his company. If he's playing games, we'll find his weak spot. The next day, Alex met Victor at La Mar, a high-end waterfront restaurant in downtown Miami. Victor was already seated, sipping a martini, exuding the confidence of a man who owned half the city. Alex, good to see you, he said, gesturing to the chair opposite. Hope you're settling into Starlight Shores. Trying to, Alex replied, keeping his tone neutral. Though the HOA's been tough. Citations keep piling up. Victor waved a hand dismissively. Bureaucracy, you know. I can make a call, smooth things over, if you and Sophia are on board with the neighborhood vibe. Alex caught the implication. We're good neighbors, Victor. Just figuring out the rules. The waiter brought their appetizers, and Victor leaned in, his voice lowering. Let's talk business. Sophia's talent is wasted on freelance gigs. My offer stands $200,000, head of design at Langston Properties. Full benefits, company car, the works. She'd be a star. Alex forced a smile, his mind racing. That's generous, but Sophia's happy building her own brand. Why the hard sell? Victor's eyes flickered, a hint of irritation breaking his polished facade. I see potential, Alex. In her and in you. Take my advice, opportunities like this don't come twice. And Starlight's a better place when everyone's aligned. The threat hung in the air, subtle but unmistakable. Alex leaned back, choosing his words carefully. I'll talk to her, but it's her call. You got a formal offer we can review? Victor's smile returned, though it was colder now. I'll have my team send it over. Oh, and one more thing, your patio permit? I heard it got flagged. I could pull some strings, but the HOA values cooperation. He signaled for the check, leaving Alex with a sinking feeling that the game was only beginning. Back home, Alex relayed the conversation to Sophia. He's not just offering a job, he's trying to buy us. And he knows about the patio permit we filed 2 days ago. How does he even have that kind of access? Sophia frowned, scrolling through her phone. He's got eyes everywhere. Look at this. She showed him an online forum post she'd found, archived from a now-deleted thread. A former Langston Properties employee claimed the company inflated project budgets, funneling cash to offshore accounts. It's vague, but it's a start, she said. If he's this controlling in the neighborhood, imagine what he's hiding at work. Alex's financial analyst instincts kicked in. He opened his laptop and started digging, cross-referencing public records on Langston Properties. Their revenue doesn't add up, he said after an hour. They're reporting profits from projects that haven't broken ground. Classic money laundering red flags. Sophia's eyes lit up. If I take the job, I could get access to their internal systems. Find proof, something the FBI can't ignore. Alex hesitated, fear gnawing at him. Soph, if he's laundering money, he's dangerous. We need a plan, security cameras, encrypted backups, a way to signal if you're in trouble. Deal, she said. Our code phrase is Miami Sunset. If I say it, you get me out, no questions. And I'll check in every hour I'm at the office. They spent the evening installing discrete cameras around their home, linking them to cloud storage. Alex also set up an encrypted folder for any evidence Sophia might find. The next morning, Sophia called Victor's office, her voice steady as she accepted the job offer. By noon, she had a signed contract, $200,000, starting Monday. Sophia's first week at Langston Properties was deceptively calm. She worked on mock-ups for a new condo project, but Victor was often absent, tied up in meetings. Alex, meanwhile, kept digging, uncovering a pattern of shell companies tied to Victor's developments. One name, Blue Horizon LLC, kept popping up, linked to properties that existed only on paper. On Friday, Victor invited Sophia to a welcome lunch at his office. Alex insisted on driving her, parking nearby in case she needed him. At 12:30, she texted, all good, just eating. He's being charming, but it's an act. At 1:15, another text, he's pushing for a private dinner to discuss my role. Said no. He didn't like that. Alex's grip tightened on his phone. He was about to reply when a new HOA email arrived, another citation, this time for unauthorized exterior lighting. He cursed under his breath. Victor was tightening the screws again. When Sophia got home, her face was pale but determined. He's not just after me, she said, tossing her bag on the couch. I overheard him on a call today, something about moving the assets before an audit. And I saw a file labeled Blue Horizon on his computer before he locked the screen. Alex's pulse quickened. That's the shell company I found. If we can get into that file, we might have him. Sophia nodded. There's a gala at his estate next Friday. Everyone's invited, but the office will be empty. I can slip away, say I need to finish a project. If I can access his system. It's risky, Alex said, his voice tight. If he catches you. I know, she said, meeting his gaze. But we're not running from this. He thinks he can buy me, scare us. He's wrong. Alex pulled her into a hug, his fear warring with pride. We do this together. I'll be right outside, ready to move if you say Miami sunset. As they planned, the stakes grew clearer. Victor wasn't just a controlling neighbor, he was a predator with secrets worth killing for. And the Carters were about to step deeper into his web. The Miami night buzzed with anticipation as Alex and Sophia Carter pulled up to Victor Langston's Starlight Shores estate. The gala was in full swing, cars lining the street like a luxury showroom. Alex adjusted his tie, his nerves taut. Tonight was their chance to expose Victor's secrets, but the risk was higher than ever. Sophia, clutching a small purse with a hidden USB drive, gave him a determined nod. We've got this, she whispered. Stick to the plan. The plan was simple but perilous. Sophia would attend the gala, make an appearance, then slip away to Langston Properties' downtown office, claiming she needed to finish a project. The empty office would give her a window to access Victor's restricted server and download evidence of his crimes. Money laundering may be worse. Alex would wait nearby, ready to extract her at the first sign of trouble. Their code phrase, Miami sunset, was their lifeline. Inside the gala, the crowd pulsed with Miami's elite, business moguls, local politicians, all orbiting Victor like planets around a sun. He greeted the Carters with a wide smile, his hand grazing Sophia's arm as he pulled her toward a group of executives. Our star designer, he announced, his voice carrying over the chatter. Alex lingered at the edge, watching Victor's every move. The man's charm was a mask, and Alex could feel the predator beneath it. After 30 minutes of small talk, Sophia excused herself. I need to wrap up a presentation for Monday, she told Victor, her tone casual. He raised an eyebrow but nodded. Don't work too hard, he said, his eyes lingering. Alex caught her glance as she left, a quick, reassuring flash of confidence. Alex slipped out minutes later, driving to a parking lot across from Langston Properties' sleek high-rise. At 7:45, Sophia texted, in the office. System access granted. Searching now. Alex gripped his phone, his pulse hammering. Every minute felt like an hour. At 8:10, another text, found Blue Horizon files. Massive transfers to offshore accounts. Downloading. Then at 8:20, something else, photos, invoices. Looks bad. Really bad. Alex's stomach churned. He typed back, be careful. I'm right here. No response came. He stared at the building's glass facade, willing Sophia to emerge. At 8:35, his phone buzzed again, Miami sunset. He's here. Ice flooded Alex's veins. Victor had followed her. He leapt from the car, mind racing. Charging into the building could blow their cover, security would detain him, and Victor could destroy the evidence. He needed a way to get Sophia out without tipping Victor off. Sprinting to a side alley, he spotted a delivery van parked nearby. An idea hit him. He grabbed a clipboard from his car, scribbled a fake delivery note, and approached the building's after-hours entrance. The security guard, a bored 20-something, barely looked up. Delivery for Langston Properties, urgent, Alex said, holding up the clipboard. Design team needs it tonight. The guard glanced at it, then buzzed him in. Elevators on the left. 40th floor. Alex rode up, his heart pounding. Sophia was on the 42nd, hiding from Victor. He stepped off the elevator, scanning the dim hallway. The design department was a maze of cubicles, but Victor's corner office loomed at the end, its door ajar. Muffled voices carried, Victor's smooth baritone, edged with menace, and Sophia's, calm but strained. I was just checking vendor files, Sophia was saying. I didn't realize the server was restricted. Victor's laugh was sharp. Come now, Sophia. You're smarter than that. Accessing Blue Horizon's financials? That's not curiosity, that's espionage. Alex crept closer, staying low behind a partition. He texted Sophia, I'm here. Stall him. Her phone vibrated faintly, and she glanced at it, her voice steady. If I overstepped, I'm sorry. I just wanted to understand the project scope. Scope? Victor's tone hardened. You downloaded sensitive data. I have alerts, Sophia. I know what you took. And I know you've been talking to your husband about me. Those late-night chats in your bedroom? My cameras caught every word. Alex's blood ran cold. Cameras? In their home? Rage surged, but he forced it down. Sophia needed him focused. He scanned the office for a distraction. A fire alarm panel gleamed on the wall nearby. It was risky, but it could buy her time. He edged toward it, pulling his jacket over his hand to avoid prints, and yanked the lever. A shrill alarm blared, lights flashing. Victor cursed. Stay here, he snapped, stepping out to check the hallway. Sophia seized the moment, bolting from the office toward the stairwell. Alex met her at the landing, grabbing her hand. Go now, he whispered. They raced down 2 flights, the USB drive clutched in Sophia's fist. They hit the lobby just as security guards mobilized, distracted by the alarm. Alex and Sophia slipped out the side exit, blending into the Miami night. In the car, Sophia's breath came in gasps. He's been watching us, she said, voice shaking. Cameras in our house, Alex. He showed me photos, us eating, sleeping. And the files, it's not just money laundering. There are invoices for placements, young women, listed like inventory. Alex's hands tightened on the wheel. Human trafficking? She nodded, eyes wide with horror. I copied everything I could. Payments to shell companies, photos of women in some kind of warehouse. It's worse than we thought. We're going to the FBI, Alex said, pulling onto the highway. Tonight. He knows you have the files, he won't stop. Sophia clutched the USB drive. He took my first drive, thought that was it. But I made a backup in the restroom. He's arrogant, Alex. He thinks he's untouchable. Not anymore, Alex said, his jaw set. We've got him. They drove to the FBI's Miami field office, adrenaline pumping. A skeptical agent took their statement, but when Sophia handed over the USB drive, his demeanor shifted. This is serious, he said, plugging it into a secure laptop. If these files check out, we're talking federal charges, money laundering, trafficking, maybe more. As they left the office, dawn breaking over Miami, Alex glanced at Sophia. You were incredible back there. How'd you stay so calm? I was terrified, she admitted, leaning against him. But I kept thinking about those women in the photos. We can't let him keep doing this. Alex nodded, his resolve hardening. Victor had underestimated them, but the fight wasn't over. Victor knew they had evidence, and a man like him wouldn't go down quietly. The Carters had just declared war on a predator with everything to lose. The Miami skyline faded in the rearview mirror as Alex and Sophia Carter sped toward Fort Lauderdale, the USB drive with Victor Langston's incriminating files tucked inside Sophia's pocket. The FBI had their evidence, proof of money laundering and human trafficking, but Victor's reach loomed large. His surveillance of their home, his veiled threats, and his connections to Miami's power players made staying in Starlight Shores too dangerous. They needed a safe haven while the feds built their case. Sophia's college friend, Lena, welcomed them into her Fort Lauderdale condo at 3 a.m. You guys okay? Lena asked, handing them coffee. Sophia nodded, though her hands trembled. We're alive. That's a start. Alex filled Lena in, keeping his voice low. Victor's got eyes everywhere. We can't go back until he's locked up. Lena's eyes widened. You're saying he's trafficking people? And he's been watching your house? Cameras, Sophia said, her voice tight. He showed me photos of us in our kitchen, our bedroom. He's been listening, too? Alex clenched his fists, the violation fueling his anger. We gave the FBI everything, bank transfers, invoices, photos of women listed like property. But Victor's got pull. If he gets wind of the investigation, he'll cover his tracks. Lena pointed to a spare room. Stay as long as you need. I've got a security system, and no one knows you're here. Alex and Sophia settled in, but sleep was impossible. Every creak of the condo made Alex jump, expecting Victor's goons to show up. By morning, Sophia was already on her laptop, cross-referencing the files she'd copied. Look at this, she said, showing Alex a spreadsheet. Payments to Blue Horizon LLC, funneled through a dozen shell companies. Some are tied to warehouses in Hialeah, empty ones, supposedly for condo projects. Alex, his financial analyst brain kicking in, opened his own laptop. I'll trace the accounts. If we can link these to Victor's personal assets, the FBI will have a stronger case. He spent hours digging through public records, finding ties to offshore banks in the Caymans. One account stood out, a $2 million transfer labeled, consulting fees, to a company owned by a local judge. He's bribing officials, Alex said, his voice grim. No wonder he thinks he's untouchable. Meanwhile, trouble followed them. At noon, Sophia got a text from an unknown number. Curiosity's dangerous, Sophia. Stick to design. She showed Alex, her face pale. He knows I kept a copy. Alex forwarded the text to Special Agent Torres, their FBI contact. We're escalating this, he said, dialing Torres. The agent's voice was calm but urgent. Stay put. We're analyzing the drive, but Langston's careful. We need airtight evidence to move on him. Those texts help, they show he's rattled. The next day, their fears materialized. Alex woke to find their car's tires slashed outside Lena's condo. A note tucked under the wiper read, "Go home." Sophia's phone buzzed with another message, "Accidents happen in Miami." Alex called Torres again, who promised increased surveillance but warned, "Don't engage. He's baiting you." Sophia, pacing, refused to back down. "We can't just hide. I saw those women's faces in the photos, scared, hopeless. We have to keep pushing." Alex nodded, pulling up a map of Hialeah's industrial district. "These warehouses, if we can confirm they're being used for trafficking, it's another nail in his coffin. I'll go check them out." "No way," Sophia said, grabbing his arm. "You're not going alone. We do this together or not at all." Reluctantly, Alex agreed. That night, they borrowed Lena's car and drove to Hialeah, parking a block from the first warehouse. It was a hulking, unmarked building, its windows boarded up. A single guard patrolled the entrance, a bulge under his jacket suggesting a gun. Sophia snapped photos from the car, zooming in on a van unloading crates under floodlights. "Those don't look like construction supplies," she whispered. Alex spotted a logo on the van, Blue Horizon LLC. "That's it," he said, heart racing. "We need to get this to Torres." As they pulled away, headlights flared behind them. A black SUV tailed them, too close for comfort. Alex floored it, weaving through side streets until the SUV vanished. "He's sending a message," he said, gripping the wheel. Back at Lena's, they uploaded the photos to the FBI's secure server. Torres called an hour later. "Good work, but you're taking risks. We've got eyes on those warehouses now. Preliminary scans of your drive confirm payments to traffickers in Eastern Europe. We're building a RICO case, but it takes time. Stay low." Time, however, was running out. The next morning, Sophia's email was hacked, flooding her inbox with threats. Their Starlight Shores neighbors, once friendly, stopped responding to texts, likely pressured by Victor. Alex's boss called, saying an anonymous tip had flagged his work for irregularities, putting his job at risk. Victor was closing in, hitting them from every angle. Sophia, undeterred, kept digging through the copied files. "There's a pattern," she said, showing Alex a list of wire transfers. "Every month, $500,000 goes to a charity called New Dawn. But it's a front, its address is a P.O. box, and its board includes Victor's lawyer." Alex cross-checked the charity's filings. "No donations reported, no programs. It's a shell for laundering." He sent the findings to Torres, who replied, "This is gold. We're moving to search warrants, but Langston's got informants. Don't go near him." That evening, Sophia got a call from Victor himself. She put it on speaker, her hand shaking. "Sophia," he said, his voice smooth but icy. "You're making things difficult. Come to my office tomorrow alone. We'll sort this out. Bring your husband, and it gets messy." Alex grabbed the phone. "She's not coming, Victor. We know what you're doing. Blue Horizon, the warehouses, the women. It's over." A long pause. "You're out of your depth, Alex," Victor said, his tone lethal. Enjoy your last night in Miami. The line went dead. Sophia looked at Alex, fear and defiance in her eyes. He's desperate. That means we're close. Alex nodded, pulling her close. We've got the FBI, the evidence, and each other. He's going down, but we need to survive until he does. As they fortified Lena's condo, checking locks and cameras, the weight of their fight settled over them. Victor was a cornered animal, and the Carters were his prey. But they had one advantage: the truth, burning bright on that USB drive, ready to bring his empire crashing down. The Fort Lauderdale dawn broke with a tense quiet, but for Alex and Sophia Carter, safety felt like a distant memory. Hiding at Lena's condo, they waited for the FBI to act on the evidence they'd risked everything to secure: Victor Langston's files exposing money laundering and human trafficking. The USB drive, now in Special Agent Torres' hands, held the key to dismantling Victor's empire, but his threats hung over them like a storm cloud. Every phone buzz, every car passing outside, set their nerves on edge. Sophia checked her encrypted email, finding a message from Torres: warrants issued for Langston's properties. Stay hidden. Raids start today. Alex exhaled, gripping her hand. This is it. If the FBI moves fast, he's done. But doubt gnawed at him. Victor's connections ran deep: cops, judges, even local media. A man like that didn't fall easily. By noon, their fears escalated. A news alert pinged on Alex's phone: a Starlight Shores break-in, their own address listed. Victor's goons had trashed their home, leaving a message spray-painted on the wall: back off. Sophia's face hardened. He's trying to scare us into running. Alex called Torres, voice tight. He hit our house. You need to move now. We are, Torres replied. Raids are underway: his mansion, office, Hialeah warehouses. We've got 22 women rescued so far, trafficked from Ukraine and Romania. Your evidence was the break we needed. But Langston's slippery. He's gone quiet, likely hiding. Alex hung up, his mind racing. Victor wasn't just hiding, he was plotting. We need to stay one step ahead, he told Sophia. If he's desperate, he might come for us himself. Sophia nodded, pulling up a file she'd saved from the USB drive. There's one more lead: a yacht in Key Biscayne registered to Blue Horizon LLC. If he's running, that's where he'll go. Alex forwarded the tip to Torres, who responded instantly, sending a team to the marina. Stay put. But staying put felt like surrender. Sophia's eyes burned with resolve. Those women in the photos, I can't stop thinking about them. We started this. We need to see it through. Against Torres' orders, they drove to Key Biscayne, parking near the marina under cover of dusk. The yacht Eclipse loomed at the dock, its lights dim. A lone figure, Victor, stood on deck barking orders into a phone. Alex spotted 2 armed men patrolling the pier. He's definitely running, he whispered. Sophia snapped photos, sending them to Torres with their location. Minutes later, sirens wailed. FBI boats surrounded the yacht, agents swarming the dock. Victor's men dropped their weapons, but Victor bolted below deck. Alex and Sophia watched from the car as agents stormed aboard, emerging with Victor in handcuffs, his face a mask of fury. Torres called as they drove away. We got him. Cash, fake passports, and burner phones on the yacht. He was planning to vanish. Back at Lena's, Torres filled them in. Victor had cut a plea deal, admitting to money laundering, bribery, and trafficking for a 20-year sentence. His assets, millions in properties, accounts, and the yacht, were seized, with a portion earmarked for victim restitution. The rescued women, 30 in total, were receiving medical care and legal support. You two took a hell of a risk, Torres said. But you saved lives. The next month, a new opportunity arose. Victor's Starlight Shores mansion hit the auction block, its value slashed due to the scandal. Sophia had a bold idea. We should buy it, she said, her voice steady. Not to live in, to transform it. A shelter for trafficking survivors, a place for them to heal. Alex stared, then nodded. Turn his fortress of greed into something good? I'm in. They pooled their savings, secured grants, and partnered with anti-trafficking nonprofits. The media caught wind, and donations poured in, captivated by the story of a couple who'd fought a titan and won. By summer, they'd bought the mansion at a fraction of its worth. Sophia threw herself into redesigning the space, turning cold luxury into a warm sanctuary, classrooms for job training, counseling rooms, a garden for peace. Alex handled the finances, ensuring every dollar stretched. Starlight Shores residents, once cowed by Victor, rallied behind them, volunteering time and resources. Javier, their neighbor, organized a community fundraiser, erasing the HOA's petty citations in a show of solidarity. On the opening day of Horizon Haven, Alex and Sophia stood on the mansion steps, scissors in hand for the ribbon cutting. A crowd of survivors, volunteers, and reporters gathered, cameras flashing. Sophia leaned into Alex, her voice soft. "Think Victor would get this? Using his own house to undo his damage?" Alex shook his head. "He'd never understand. Power to him was about control, not healing." A young woman approached, one of the rescued survivors. "Thank you," she said, her accent thick. "This place, it's a second chance." Sophia hugged her, tears in her eyes. As the ribbon fell, Alex felt the weight of their journey lift. They'd come to Starlight Shores chasing a dream home, only to find a nightmare. But through courage and grit, they'd uncovered a purpose bigger than themselves. Horizon Haven wasn't just a shelter, it was a testament to their bond, forged in fire, and a promise that justice could rebuild what greed had broken. The crowd cheered, and Alex squeezed Sophia's hand. "We did this together," he said. She smiled, fierce and unbroken. "And we're just getting started."